I mean, I'm sure she sucks, but she is very young.
And that people think I'm doing poorly.
And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part.
Is to be that bitch.
I'm a narcissist.
And they decided to cast Rachel Zegler. Again, you can cast people however you want to cast people. I really don't care.
A lot of people don't like her.
It's only making matters worse.
Far from what you would think Disney wanted.
I think Rachel Zegler was miscast. I'm not trying to be shady, but when you...
Framing this as people not wanting her to win?
And I don't think I'm doing it at all.
Oh boy. Okay, she's getting emotional in this clip.
Is Disney losing its magic? The Walt Disney Company, once the untouchable king of entertainment, is facing a storm of challenges that have fans and investors questioning its future. From the catastrophic flop of the Snow White remake to subscribers abandoning Disney in droves and Marvel projects like Fantastic Four and Ironheart hitting major roadblocks, the House of Mouse is in full-blown crisis mode. Reports claim Bob Iger is scrambling to do damage control, but with Rachel Zegler at the center of a ratings disaster and controversies piling up, is it too late to save Disney's fairy tale? Let's dive into the chaos rocking the Magic Kingdom and uncover why everyone seems to hate this Snow White remake. The Snow White remake was supposed to be Disney's shining moment.
We know one thing about Bob Iger right now is that he is doubling down on damage control when it comes down to the performance of Snow White on DisneyPlus. In case you guys did not know, this thing is on DisneyPlus already because of how fast it left theaters. We all saw this, they saw this at the same exact time, and we already know that now that Rachel Zegler is beginning to break silence yet again after remaining silent about her overall stance on Snow White.
A bold reimagining of the 1937 classic that kicked off its animated legacy. Instead, it's a masterclass in how to tank a franchise. With a budget rumored to be between $200 and $370 million, some insiders say it ballooned to $400 million with reshoots. The film needed to gross at least $500 million to break even. But after a shockingly brief theatrical run, it scraped together just $66.9 million domestically and $142.8 million worldwide.
I am walking into Snow White, 2 p.m., now seating. Let's see how empty it is. 1, 2. Okay. 2.
Critics tore it to shreds, handing it a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 47% on Metacritic, and a jaw-dropping February 4th, 10 on IMDb. One critic called it toe-curlingly terrible, while another dismissed it as barely fit for TV. Disney rushed it to Disney hoping to salvage something, but viewership's reportedly flatlining, with insiders saying it's not even cracking the platform's top 10. What turned this fairy tale into a nightmare? Rachel Zegler, cast as Snow White, is the lightning rod for this disaster. A Latina actress playing a character described as having skin as white as snow in the grim tale, Zegler's casting alone sparked heated debates. Some praised Disney's push for diversity, others felt it strayed too far from the source. But Zegler didn't just step into the role, she swung hard. In 2022, she called the original Snow White sexist and dated, mocking its prince as a stalker and hyping a feminist remake where Snow White's a leader, not a damsel. Fans of the 1937 classic, a cornerstone of Disney's legacy.
Apart from all of the political controversy started by the actress, so the movie had all kinds of problems creatively and conceptually.
A promo tweet with a political statement. As a result, Mark Platt flew to New York to speak with her in person.
And a lot of what you see with Zegler is really just this pretty common Gen Z mentality and approach to work.
Felt she was spitting on their childhood. Her political posts made things worse. During the film's promotion, she tweeted "Free Palestine," and after the 2024 election, she posted FCK Donald Trump and wished Trump supporters never no peace on Instagram. These moves alienated conservative audiences, with some calling for boycotts. Was Zegler's outspokenness the film's kryptonite, or was she set up to fail?
Why she hasn't been fired yet is above my comprehension, because you invested in the wrong person. Do it to a T of what the movie is and you will make bank. Stop trying to push an agenda, as the left always does, and Hollywood is run by the left. So
Disney's diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, Strategy is a big piece of this puzzle. For Snow White, they didn't just cast a Latina lead, they overhauled the story. The Snow White name? No longer about her pale skin, but a snow blizzard she was born in, a change that left fans baffled. The Seven Dwarfs? Scrapped for a diverse crew of magical creatures after backlash from actor Peter Dinklage, who called the original tale backward for its dwarf portrayal. Leaked set photos of these CGI replacements went viral, turning the film into a laughingstock online. Disney's DEI push goes deeper. Leaked 2022 videos showed execs planning to add queerness to kids' shows and ditch gender-specific terms like boys and girls at parks. For some, this was progress. For others, it was Disney abandoning its roots. The Snow White backlash became a battleground for these tensions, with fans split over whether Disney's gone too woke. Disney is another sore spot. Once hailed as the future of entertainment, the platform's hemorrhaging subscribers, losing 1.3 million in early 2024. Ad-supported tiers and password-sharing crackdowns haven't stemmed the tide. Fans complain there's nothing worth watching.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life. Like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground. So much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all.
And Snow White's arrival on Disney hasn't changed that. Zegler claimed a silent majority loves the film, tweeting that streaming's giving it a second chance against misguided families swayed by political narratives. But data paints a grim picture. Disney analysts reportedly warned execs weeks ago that Snow White would flop on streaming, and it's not even trending on the platform. Compare that to Lilo Stitch, 2002, which is holding strong in Disney's top spots. If Disney's own fans aren't biting, who's left? Marvel's woes pile on the pressure. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, once Disney's golden goose, is sputtering. Fantastic Four and Ironheart are stuck in development limbo, with Fantastic Four cycling through directors and Ironheart facing skepticism over its focus on a teen replacing Iron Man. The 2023 flop The Marvels, with its $270 million budget and $206 million global gross, showed Marvel's not invincible. Fans on X grumbled at Marvel's DEI focus, prioritizing diverse leads over icons like Captain America, feels forced, not organic. Posts like Marvel's trading heart for quotas get thousands of likes, reflecting a growing disconnect. With Marvel faltering, Disney's losing a key pillar of its empire. Bob Iger's back as CEO, tasked with saving Disney after Bob Chapek's messy exit in 2022. His plan? Cut $5.5 billion in costs, lay off thousands, and steer away from agenda-driven content toward classic entertainment. But Iger's not unscathed. His 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike comments, calling actors' demands not realistic, sparked outrage, especially with his $27 million paycheck. He's also navigating an FCC probe into Disney's DEI practices, with whispers of scrutiny over hiring and casting. Iger's trying to balance progressive fans, traditionalists, and investors, but Disney's stock is still shaky, and a Bloomberg report warned the company's brand erosion could take years to fix. Is Iger the hero Disney needs, or is he out of his depth? Behind the scenes, Snow White's drama is juicy. Rumors swirl that Zegler clashed with Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen. Gadot, an Israeli and former IDF instructor, reportedly bristled at Zegler's Free Palestine post, which led to death threats against Gadot, forcing Disney to beef up her security. Producer Mark Platt flew to New York to confront Zegler, urging her to delete the post, but she stood firm. Disney then hired a social media guru to vet her posts, a move that reportedly humiliated her. The tension was palpable at the Oscars on March 2, 2025, where Zegler and Gadot presented together but barely looked at each other. At the film's scaled-down premiere, they kept their distance. Is this feud the real poison apple? Fans are livid, and they're not holding back. On X, Snow White is a war zone. The hashtag boycott Snow White trended for weeks, with posts like Disney ruined a classic with woke nonsense racking up thousands of retweets. IMDb's 2.4 out of 10 score came with a warning of unusual voting activity, hinting at review bombing. A viral X poll asking, "Will you watch Snow White on Disney?" got 82% saying no. Zegler's claim of a silent majority supporting the film? Fans roasted it, with one user writing, "Silent majority? More like silent minority." Even Jonah Platt, son of producer Mark Platt, blasted Zegler on X, saying her personal politics tanked the film's box office. He deleted the post, but screenshots live forever. Are fans just passionate, or has Disney crossed a line? the film itself didn't help. The prince, renamed Jonathan, was sidelined for Snow White's leadership arc. The mirror line, rewritten to sound empowering. The poison apple, toned down to avoid violence. Fans who loved the original's charm felt robbed, while new viewers called it a mess. Test screenings were so bad Disney ordered reshoots, spiking the budget. A leaked report said audiences laughed at cringe dialogue, and critics panned the CGI as cheap compared to the 1937 classic's hand-drawn magic. Zegler's wig, a stiff, chin-length bob, became a meme, with ex-users joking it looked like Lord Farquaad's haircut. Did Disney misread what fans wanted, or was this doomed from the start? Zegler's fighting back, but it's not landing. After weeks of silence, she launched a PR blitz, calling critics politically driven and blaming right-wing fans who can't handle a diverse princess. She insisted Snow White's doing very well on Disney, urging viewers to give it a chance. But ex-users called her defensive and delusional, with one post saying, "Zegler's acting like we're the problem for hating a bad movie." Her claim that she sacrificed years for the role drew eye rolls, as fans noted 16-hour shoot days are standard. A source told Variety Zegler's erratic behavior shocked Disney, and some speculate she's burned bridges. Is her passion admirable, or is she sinking her own ship? Disney's remake track record adds perspective. The Little Mermaid, 2023, faced similar casting backlash but grossed $569 million worldwide, proving diverse leads can succeed. So why did Snow White bomb? Timing's part of it. Post-COVID audiences are choosier, and Disney's flooded the market with remakes, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Mufasa, that feel like cash grabs. Execution's another issue. The Little Mermaid stayed true to its core while updating it. Snow White felt like a total rewrite. A leaked 2024 Disney report showed remakes flop when they stray too far from originals, and Snow White's the poster child. Has Disney finally learned its lesson, or will it keep churning out duds? The fallout's hitting Disney where it hurts. Theme parks, usually a cash cow, are seeing softer demand, with reports of shorter lines at Walt Disney World. The stock's still clawing back from 2022 lows, and analysts are slashing targets. A Bloomberg piece warned Disney's brand erosion could take years to repair, citing Snow White as a key fumble. The cast's feeling it too. Godot stayed mum, but rumors say she's frustrated with the film's failure tainting her resume. The magical creatures actors? They've vanished from promo, with no interviews or tours. Even Ariana DeBose, Zegler's West Side Story co-star, accidentally shared a post blaming Zegler for the flop, then backtracked without apologizing. Is Disney's dream team crumbling? Disney's also caught in America's culture wars. Its clash with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over the Don't Say Gay bill cost it special tax status for Walt Disney World, a multi-million-dollar hit. The firing of The Mandalorian's Gina Carano in 2021 for conservative posts sparked a lawsuit, backed by Elon Musk's X, that's still dragging on. Snow White's tied to similar gripes, with fans accusing Disney of bias against traditionalists. Zegler's posts didn't help, but Disney's broader DEI push, seen in leaked videos about queerness and gender-neutral park terms, has conservatives crying foul. Meanwhile, progressive fans defend Zegler, calling her a victim of racist and sexist pylons. Can Disney stay neutral, or is it doomed to pick a side? Speculation's running wild about what's next. Ex-posts claim Disney's pausing remakes like Hercules and Aladdin 2 to avoid more flops. Others whisper Zegler's career's on thin ice, with studios hesitant to cast her as a lead. These are just rumors, no hard proof, but the noise is deafening. A viral X thread suggested Disney's planning a soft reboot, doubling down on animated originals to win back fans. Another post floated the idea of a Snow White animated sequel to fix the remake's damage. If Disney's rethinking its strategy, Snow White's the wake-up call. Will it pivot to safer bets, or keep gambling on divisive remakes? The industry's watching closely. Universal's Super Mario Bros. Movie and DreamWorks' Puss in Boots: The Last Wish are stealing Disney's family film crown, with tighter budgets and broader appeal. A 2025 Variety report noted Disney's losing ground to rivals who stick to Universal stories over preachy remakes. Snow White's failure has sparked soul-searching, with insiders saying execs are panicked about the brand's future. A leaked memo allegedly urged staff to prioritize nostalgia in future projects, hinting at a course correction. But with fans split, some demanding classic Disney, others championing inclusivity, pleasing everyone's a tall order. Is Disney's dominance fading? Zegler's not the only one under fire. Director Mark Webb, known for The Amazing Spider-Man, was criticized for phoning it in. Critics called his Snow White visually repellent and soulless, with one review saying it lacked the heart of the 1937 original. Producer Mark Platt's also taking heat, with his son Jonah's ex-post fueling rumors of family frustration. Even the dwarf's redesign sparked backlash, with actor Martin Kleba, who voiced Doc, saying Disney's small premiere was a slap to the cast. The film's woes aren't just Zegler's, they're a team effort gone wrong. But why is she the main scapegoat? Let's talk legacy. The 1937 Snow White was a game-changer, Disney's first animated feature and a cultural touchstone. Its hand-drawn art, silvery-voiced heroine, and catchy songs like Someday My Prince Will Come still resonate. The remake? It's a shadow of that magic. David Hand Jr., son of the original's director, told X, Walt would be turning in his grave. Fans agree, with posts calling the remake a betrayal of Disney's roots. A Reddit thread on r/Disney Princess argued the film's girl boss Snow White missed the original's strength, her kindness and resilience. Is Disney forgetting what made it special? Zegler's defenders exist, though. On X, fans call her a trailblazer for standing up to hate. Actress Melissa Barrera, fired from Scream 7 for pro-Palestine posts, praised Zegler's integrity on Instagram. Journalist Mark Harris called Disney's Blame Game a hit job, with 50 journalists signing a letter slamming Variety's Zegler expose as graceless. Some argue she's a victim of racism and sexism, with her Latina heritage and outspokenness making her a target. A Vogue Mexico interview saw Zegler frame the backlash as passion for Snow White, saying, "It's an honor to be part of something people care about." Is she a scapegoat for Disney's failures, or did she fan the flames? The bigger picture's grim. Disney's not just fighting a bad movie, it's fighting for its soul. The company built an empire on stories that united generations, from Cinderella to Frozen. Now, it's stuck in a tug-of-war between new audiences and old fans. Snow White was meant to bridge that gap but widened it instead. On X, fans are split. Some want Disney to go back to basics, others say inclusivity's non-negotiable. Competitors like Universal are gaining, with hits like Minions proving family films don't need lectures to win. A 2025 CNBC report said Disney's over-reliance on remakes is tanking its brand, with Snow White as Exhibit A. Is the fairy tale over? So, here we are, Disney at a crossroads. The Snow White ratings disaster, fueled by Zegler's defiance and Disney's blunders, has exposed cracks in the Magic Kingdom. Subscriber losses, Marvel stumbles, and a cultural firestorm aren't helping. Bob Iger's racing to fix it, but with fans turning away and controversies raging, the path's treacherous. Can Disney recapture the fairy tale magic that made it a legend, or is the story veering toward a darker ending? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Disney can bounce back, or is the magic gone for good?